María Corina Machado is not far right. She's a moderate, a centrist, in her own words, a liberal. After receiving the Nobel Prize for Peace, various American publications have taken this opportunity to not just communicate this news, but disinform about Venezuela and Machado's politics. I refer particularly to the use of the label far right or conservative to describe her views, which isn't really correct. Indeed, Machado believes that a free market is key to live in a healthy, prosperous society. She has also promoted the privatization of various state-owned enterprises, a popular stance in the country, for these institutions have been sacked and run to the ground under the management of Chavez and Maduro loyalists. But even though she's partial to a smaller state, she does think it has an important role regarding the wellness and education of Venezuelans. Per her plan of government, Venezuela Tierra de Gracia, the post-Chavista state should include universal health coverage, as well as subsidies for children and teenagers to obtain a quality education. On social issues, Machado has quite progressive stances for a Venezuelan politician. Her party, Vente Venezuela, was the first in the country to promote same-sex marriage. She believes as well that cannabis for medical purposes should be decriminalized, and that abortion and euthanasia should be allowed in certain cases. While some might find these approaches limited for the standards of developed countries, no other opposition politician in Venezuela has been so forward about these issues. As for Chavismo, they have consistently maintained socially conservative values and refused to consider these issues seriously throughout their 26 years in power. Machado also believes that a strong environmental consciousness, as well as policies aimed at fostering the use of renewable energies, are necessary in a future Venezuela. We can read in Venezuela Tierra de Gracia that the future state should protect national parks, proactively reduce CO2 emissions, and regulate mining operations in the country, amongst other green responsibilities. This, in contrast with Maduro's open invitation to foreign businesses to exploit the mineral-rich Venezuelan South in a manner that has poisoned rivers, degraded forests, and brought about the deaths of myriad indigenous folks in the area. Make no mistake, María Corina Machado is profoundly skeptical of socialism. Living under a decades-long regime that has massively expanded the state under fraudulent promises of equality has made this a quite understandable conclusion for her and many more Venezuelans. She has also struck alliances with national conservative parties from other countries, like Spain's Vox and Argentina's La Libertad Avanza. There's a clear reason for this. Throughout the crisis in which Venezuelans have cried for help from the international community, liberal and progressive parties have either minimized these cries or given Maduro the benefit of doubt, whereas these national conservative groups have been the ones that have taken a more direct stance against Maduro, as well as his socialism of the 21st century. It should surprise no one that despite the differences in the programs of Vente Venezuela and these parties, this strategic alliance has taken place. Now, to say that these ties show that María Corina is actually far right or a conservative politician, wouldn't it be akin to saying that Putin is a socialist per his alliance with professed left-wing governments, or that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are actually Wahhabists per their ties to Saudi Arabia in government? Some liberal and progressive media have reported Machado's politics in a misleading way for some years. I myself have had the category conservative added by editors to my writing to describe her. Instead of pointing out the facts or portraying the Venezuelan crisis and its actors as objectively as possible, they have informed about my country from the lens of American and European polarization, from the belief that someone's politics can only be understood by how comfortable they feel dealing with Donald Trump. Yet Venezuelans from all over the political spectrum, Marxists, social democrats, libertarians, have celebrated the Nobel Peace Prize as the birth of a child. For we know well what she stands for and we trust that she does represent a plurality of opinions against a stiff, exclusionary dictatorship. Hopefully, this event will allow many more people throughout the world to take a closer look at what has been happening in Venezuela and support what the people have deemed necessary to finally achieve the change the country deserves.